Hi and welcome. Today we're talking about the matriarchy. We are talking about the matriarchy today. So, welcome for this conversation. Looking deeper into matriarchy, which means that we have to talk about patriarchy too. The structures that can be in society, structures of within ourselves, like the masculine and feminine, the way we're kind of connected to our body, to our ego, to our friends, to society. So it is an interesting subject, and since we are kind of shifting into a different way of interacting, which kind of the ease of life is more of a feminine path of awakening, which means that we are it's more friend based. We can, of course, have a teacher, a guide, but it's also more how we relate to each other. So patriarchy is more kind of power based, and matriarchy is more friend based, and friend is more attention based. So we kind of are living in a matriarchy unbeknownst to us, since the patriarchy kind of lasted for many thousands of years, but we kind of shifted into hierarchy relationship with Jesus at that time, when we started to shifting from seeing God as a father, as like a punisher, or like somebody you have to fear, to somebody that is more of a loving presence. So that's kindness. So that is where we gradually, the last couple of thousands of years, the last couple of thousand years, we have been kind of moving into a more kind of relationship, more kindness in its energy. So, if the patriarchy is kind of the strong control the weak, the strong kind of the kings take land, they dominate, to just like, you are my property. Anyone in that kingdom can be summoned by the king, and just you have to go to war, you have to do everything because you are my property. So it's more from the above down energy. And then kind of democracy, it's kind of more of a matriarchal basis. So in a way, the patriarchy kind of based off like power, which was kind of in the dark, and then just the strong having a say, and then gradually people had a say, more people, but then gradually kind of moved into the matriarchal way, which is kind of in the dark can be the weak. Jesus said the meek should rule the world, but now you see that what had happened is more like the weak rule the world. So that is the matriarchy in the dark, where you see that when everybody's given attention, then suddenly it slipped into matriarchy where everybody can, where the weak is the empowered ones. So that's where cancer culture, Me Too, all these different, gender, color, all these immigrants, all these different well, who is the strong one? So from the patriarchy, which is like the strong control, then the matriarch is more like from a friend base. So it's, you can see it like more in the girlfriend round or the family basis, where a lot of times we can become focused on that everybody should be equal, and everybody is equal. But at the same time, if we just focus on the weak, then we don't grow. So the matriarchy can get lost in the victim, which is the weak. But that's, to be weak is also a sense of power. Then everybody should be focused on, if you're sick or if you are feeling uneasy and all these, if you are feeling depressed or if you are whatever you feel, instead of the matriarchy in the light would be that it has to be kind of controlled by wisdom. So now you see a world that is kind of in chaos because everybody weak wants to cancel everybody. We want to cancel World Cup. We want to cancel every country because it's still stuck in the power game. And usually that is like with the girlfriends, then there's like groups of people and you kind of exclude the people you don't like, and everybody, you kind of want all your friends to think the same way. And then you see every country, everybody kind of wants you to think their way. So the world is now kind of a democracy where it's freedom, which is making that people are allowed to be. So then there are groups which have different philosophies. They're different countries that value different things. And yet, in the girlfriend, we have a tendency to want everybody to then we, it's like the Marxism, you get to be an idealist. You're young, you want everybody to think your way because you have found the perfect way. So then you want to force people. That's like cancel. You want to force, and then you want to cancel a country, block every communication with that country, block it. So we want to force. So we still are trying to use force. So that's the matriarch in the dark, because matriarch in the light is based off of faith, based out of wisdom, based off of wanting to kind of allow people to grow through communication, not through force. So you see all these young kids, they want to destroy properties, they want to burn down, they want to cancel all these universities in America, they want to just force people. So that's where communism and all these ideologies becomes, they want to brainwash you to think like they do. Even in Norway, we think we're very free, but we still are. We can accept certain trains of thought, but not everybody. That's dangerous. It's just like the growth of when we think, we can allow certain people in, but others, they're dangerous. They're going to destroy. So it's still fear-based. When we live in a fear-based thingy, then we become, we all need to go to therapy. We all need like help. We need to support each other. So then all the girlfriends become therapists for each other. You want therapy because everybody's like, life is so scary. And yet that is kind of where the ease of life comes in. This is a path of wisdom. So wisdom kind of to move beyond fear and into faith or into fearlessness, into wisdom. So we're letting that guide our communication, is that there's a potential to open up your body, your emotion, your thoughts, and be guided by life, by the connection to the divine, to God, whatever it is. But it's a kind connection. It's a loving connection. It's a gentle connection. So that is where you can connect with people more from just kindness, but not kind of blind kindness. Like when you feel like, oh, when you're afraid of somebody, you become kind from a place of fear. So that's the matriarch in the dark. That's where like, oh, we're afraid of war. We're afraid of Putin. So we give him connections. We buy all his gas because we're afraid of him. So when somebody says, I'm going to threaten with war, that's fear-based. So then we suddenly realize, oh, we should have maybe not given him all the attention. So, to live in the middle, you still have to dare to not be afraid of war. So now in the world, people are starting to be like, okay, we're not afraid of war. It's starting to have a positivity that we've kind of been like, oh, let's not talk about war ever again. And we're just flower power. But it's been a little scared. So we're letting some people to dominate, the mean people to kind of just take over the class or the girlfriend round or whatever, and kind of bully everybody else. Oh, I hope that person doesn't become angry or sad. So we have to make it so kind. But the kindness is kind of weak. It's empty. It's not breathing. So that's where the body, most people, they lift up their energy, but they're not breathing. They're not living. So the ease of life is kind of daring to be empowered, daring to live life, daring to receive life, daring to like trust that people are okay wherever they are. So, matriarchy is focusing more like before. The focus was always the rich and the few, like the kings. Well, the matriarchy is more like it's not focused on the people on top. They exist. But now it's shifting a little bit to everybody's becoming a little bit celebrity. Everybody's daring to live life. It's not just the celebrity or the king so now it's everybody's normal life that comes out. It's daring to enjoy a normal life, to see that the normal life is special. Not that it has to be perfect. Your friendships don't have to be perfect. Your past don't have to be perfect. But it still can be loved. It can still be enjoyed. So we kind of get stuck in this feeling that everything needs to be perfect. So that's where like the families have to be, everything has to be organized and everything has to be perfect before we can breathe. So then we have to join every party and everything for our family and our friends. And that's how like we killed Christmas, where we have to do everything perfect for Christmas to be. We're thinking more is less. So that's like the feminine in the dark. Instead of enjoying less is just a little, just enough. That is where the wisdom comes in, trusting that whatever needs to come will come in from a place of grace, from a place of love, from a place of ease. Hence the ease of life, the ease of being, the ease of body being. We're kind of moving into a more graceful connection to our life, to the divine, to everyone. And then the connections with everybody is special, but it's also just very normal. It's not so we have to hide and just speak very therapy with some people and very, very close with some people. While in a way, when you're close to yourself, you're close to everyone. So it has to start with you, and then you have to dare to claim that queendom, that kingdom where you allow yourself to shine from a place of grace. And then you see that it ripples out to your family, to your kids, to everybody. So that's when we kind of drink of the chalice of wisdom. So this is the path of wisdom. And it is coming because we are now at a place where we kind of realize that we get burnt. The stronger we are, the more we get burnt out of holding on to fear, holding on to our emotions, holding on to our thoughts, holding on to our body, hiding our body, hiding our emotions, hiding our thoughts. It has to dare to be part of life. You have to dare to be a fallible, beautiful human being. Our ego is not supposed to be perfect. We have to admit we've all eaten the apple. So we're becoming the feminine. We dare to make mistakes because we dare to also receive forgiveness, and we dare to forgive. And then that opens up a whole different communication. So that's where we're going. So if you're new here, if you're reading this later, you can, this last part of the talk, we're kind of just allowing this nectar, this grace that is divine, that is life, that is our body, that is energy. You might feel it like as a light in the room, or in a pressure in your neck, or in your head, or just a little stiffness in your body, as it kind of, as you just, if you allow yourself to just close your eyes and just kind of sit with what I've said, sit with the energy behind it, sit with the wisdom, sit with this nectar, this grace within you, and let it burp. That's like being a baby, you're just burping. It's like when you're opening up to the sensitivity of being a little baby, your body at that time was just burping, pooping, farting, just peeing, just kind of letting it out, adapting to the energy coming in, letting yourself just to close your eyes and have a little nap, or just dropping your shoulders and just enjoying the kind of energy that comes in. So let's just allow yourself to take it in. You might feel nothing, or you might feel a lot. It doesn't matter. Don't think too much about it. Just enjoy. That is the feminine. That's the daring to enjoy the life. Then life has a different quality to it. Yeah, and then the energy just kind of trickles down from your jaw, or stiffness in your shoulders or in your feet, kind of becomes heavy as the energy kind of gets into the body. We're embodying the energy. We're allowing it to kind of be digested just like a meal. And I'm really feeling it in my jaw. It's like grace touching you, caressing you, letting you. Yeah, and then it kind of comes up again as like a yawn, kind of rises again. Yeah, the energy is kind of coming through the system and up. We kind of allow this talk to digest through you. so gracefully and gently and easefully, just by showing up, just by partaking. I'm opening up my hands and I'm allowing you to partake if you so wish. Yes, and then it kind of comes up into your head. It's almost like a little bit of a prickling headache, and it just kind of comes like you get a blood rush, a head rush, blood rush. Beautiful. Yeah, there's been some, and you can come back in here. There's been some energy. We had a retreat here a couple of weeks ago. So some people are still digesting a little bit of that. It's almost like opening up a wound, letting it, flushing it out, and then it becomes, it's healing. It's get a little scab on it, and it's time to kind of come together, getting used to it. So that's the beauty of retreats. We kind of take 3 days to go a little deeper. So we're going to have another one in January in Norway, 13th to 15th, if you are interested, whether you show up physically or you can show up online for Americans or wherever you are in the world. We will post more information about that over Christmas. Anyway, good. Go open your eyes, stretch it out like a cat. Thank you for partaking. It's always beautiful to see some people live. Not everybody shows up live, of course, because it's not, you might be working or busy. But if you want to say hi, just give a like or a comment. Or if you are new, follow and yeah, and like. Anyway, it has been a beautiful day, and I hope you have a continual beautiful wisdom or Wednesday of ease. See you soon.